Welcome to LEAP's 2016-2017 preview of the Common App. We do this each year just to show you what might be new in there, how to create your account, things that you need to be doing. We won't take a lot of time, so let's get started. So the website for the Common App is commonapp.org. The one thing I'm going to skip right now is actually creating an account. So there are about 3 screens that they'll take you through to create your account. I created mine last night when it went live on July 31st. So instead, we're going to go ahead and just log in. I'm going to say I am a student, even though this is actually a test account. Okay, here is my email with my password in there. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, so here is the 2016-17 Common App. This is your dashboard, and we'll come back here to show you how things that you've done will show up in here. So, my colleges, we have not added any yet, and we're going to come back to that later. The main body of the application that all colleges will see would be here. So as you go through here, this first section is your profile. So this is just things about you. So we've got my name in there. Have you ever used any other names? We're going to say no. New this year is this question, sex assigned at birth. So if regardless of what you consider yourself now, you would go ahead and put the sex that you were assigned at birth. If you feel that you need to provide more information about your gender identity, then they have provided this box for you to do so. Go ahead and put in your date of birth. Yes, that's mine. It's old. And then you hit continue, and it takes you directly onto the next section. Now, as you'll note up here then, do you see that green check mark next to personal information? So that green check mark up there next to personal information meant that that section was complete. So you can go through by either hitting continue, or you're able to navigate. Let's say we wanted to skip down to language. So you can click on language, and I am only proficient in one language. That language is English. It is my first language, and all of these qualify. So then I go to continue. It's going to take me to citizenship. Now, let's say that at this point, I wanted to jump back up to contact details. So I would click up here. Gives me my address. I can give them my phone number. So I'm going to say that's my home number. That's actually my office number. I can say that there's no other telephone number, and then I would be done with this section. So do you see here how we've got a green check mark at personal information, language, and scholarship information? We're going to go down there in a second. Scholarship information comes automatically already completed for you, and you may want to go in there and change that. So I'm satisfied with this information under contact details. I hit continue. It takes me to the next section, which is demographics, and now we see the check mark up there. So you're able to navigate among all of these areas, and this is just the profile section. So for instance, let's get finished with this section so you'll see that then this section will become checked. So going back up to address, no alternate mailing address. Okay, there is my contact information. Everything is answered that is asterisked. Continue to the next section, demographics. So I think you don't have to see how this is not, I'll just put other. See how that was not asterisk? So you do not have to answer this question. You don't have to answer this question about the U.S. Armed Forces status. So the only question in the demographics section that has to be completed is you saying, yes, you've completed this section to your satisfaction. So watch, I'm going to leave these questions unanswered, but I am saying that I'm satisfied with my answers here. I'm going to hit continue over to geography, and that section shows completed. under demographics with the green check mark, even though I didn't answer every question, but not every question was required. So remember, you're looking for the asterisk. The other thing that you're going to notice is there's an instructions and help section over here on the right hand side that you can ask for help. So country of birth, United States, city, I was born in Dayton, Ohio. I've lived here my entire life. Let's see, more than 20 years. Number of years you've lived outside of the United States, 0. This section's complete. Now, even though language was already completed, it is going to take me back to that section because I hit continue. We're satisfied with that. Citizenship status. Now, this is not a required question. We're going to talk more about FAFSA in some videos and seminars that we have later. You cannot access a Stafford loan if you are, which is just starts out freshman year $5,500 that any student, regardless of need, can use. So LEAP tells you to go ahead and do the FAFSA. We did it. I did it for my own freshman in college son. So that's one issue is why there are certain colleges that will not even award any merit aid if you haven't gone ahead and already done the FAFSA. So if it's free money in the form of merit aid, you want it. You want to be at the front of the line. So we want you to do this. So I would probably put in my social security number, which I'm not going to do right now. This is not a required section because I want to be considered for all merit aid that might be available for me at all colleges. So the Common App and the FAFSA need to be connected. Just a reminder, the FAFSA filing date is moving to opening on October 1st. We're encouraging you to get your FSA ID in the month of August or September right now, and to complete your FAFSA probably the second week of October through the end of the month. So it will be based on your 2015 tax return this year. So there's no practice or there's no temporary account. It will be complete at that time. So we're going to say continue. Now here's that scholarship information. So this is not required. Common App has partnered with this organization, and you're able to share your information if you would like more information about some of the financial aid and scholarships available there. And then finally, do I get a Common App waiver? No. Now watch. We go into the next section. So this green check mark up by profile is completed. So under family, it's going to ask questions about my household. Parent 1, lots of information. Parent 2 is going to look the same. And then any siblings you might have. Let's just go ahead and I'll say I have 1. And then you'd have to give the information. Now, you don't have to complete that section before moving on. I hit, oh, okay, it's not liking that. Okay, now I go into the education. Current or most recent school. So you can look up your high school this way. The year that you started there, if it's a boarding school, will you graduate, did you or will you graduate from this school? Graduation date, your counselor's name. Counselor's email is optional. I would go ahead and put it in, as is their phone number. So you've got to give all that information. If you have other schools, then you would indicate the number of schools. So because I did 0, remember this is required, so I have to answer with the 0. Community-based organizations. There are organizations out there that assist for free with your application process. If you've worked with one of those, then you have to answer that, and it would ask for that information. This talks about whether you took any time off or will take any time off or have graduated early, which is considered education interruption. So if you go ahead and say no interruption, is going to be typical. But even if you're planning on taking a gap year next year, you would go ahead and indicate that now. You don't have to make that decision right now if you're just thinking about it but not committed to that path. If you took any dual enrollment courses while you were in high school, then you would go ahead here and you would fill out that information about that college. Your colleges, once you enroll, are going to ask for a transcript from that school. This talks about your grades. So the only thing you have to answer here is your approximate class size. Now, you can go ahead, a lot of schools now don't do class rank, so you can say none. You can leave these questions unanswered, or you can provide them. The colleges are not going to rely on your answers here. Instead, they will rely on the answers or this information provided by your transcript. So you can feel free to put it in here or not put it on here. If it's here, they're going to make sure it matches your transcript, but the transcript is the final say on your GPA, the scale of your GPA, whether that's weighted or unweighted, and your class rank if there is one. They are interested, colleges, in what you are taking for your senior year. They want to make sure you're keeping up the rigor. So they're going to ask you to input all of your current courses into this section. And then you're able to add up to 5 honors that you have received. So this could be National Honor Society. It could be you've made the honor roll at your school, any of those. So you would go through and fill those out. And then they're going to ask your future plan. Now, sometimes students get upset about this section, feeling like, oh my word, they're committing to a path. You're not committing to a path by answering this question. So if you go all the way down, you can say that you're undecided at this time. So I have a master's degree, so we'll just do that. And if you go back to that whole education section, we ran through most of them very quickly, but you'll see we got a few of them completed to their satisfaction. The next section is testing. Just like with the GPA, if you choose, you do not have to, you can choose to provide your ACT, SAT, subject test, AP in this section if you would like. If you do, then this will come up. You go ahead and you put in your scores. Now, again, it's rare that colleges are going to take your word for it in here. So you may not even be done testing at this point, so you may not want to provide it. Most colleges are going to require that your ACT and SAT scores be sent directly from the testing agency. Colleges are not going to care if you leave this blank and just send your scores. Let's say I want to go back and edit my section. So now I go edit. This is a good example of how to do this. And now I'm going to change my answer to no. It got rid of that box asking, what scores I was going to do. I hit continue, and now my testing section is done. So activities, everybody's going to want to do this. And this is a really great way to think about how you're going to market yourselves. So this is where you've got up to 10 available activities that you can do. So I said, yes, I'm going to. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in this information. So this will be the same information provided for all 10. So you answer all of those questions, hit continue. Now it takes you onto the essay and you go, oops, I wanted to do more than one. So you go back to activities, and then it's where you go add another. So I would list those in order of importance to you. So this would be a good time. Let's go back to this testing section. At any time, you can go up here and click this button for the preview, and it will show you what that section of your actual Common App is going to look like. So I preview it. There we go. This is what my actual application looks like. Okay, we went through activities. Next section, so we're not going to add another at this time. We hit continue. It's going to jump us over to writing. Whoops, it didn't. Okay, writing. Click to the writing. Okay, so Some colleges require submission of the personal essay with your Common App. New last year in 2015-16, they allowed schools to use the Common App that were not requiring the personal essay. Even if the college is not requiring the personal essay, you are able to submit it even if it's not required. I would encourage you to do so. So you go ahead and you check that you have read that and you understand. Hopefully before you're ever over into the application, you have gone ahead and written your essay. The essay prompts for the Common App this year, you have a 650 word limit, which is a hard stop. You also cannot put anything in less than 250 words. I think it would be hard to even address an essay in less than 250 words. You don't need to worry about being all the way up to 650, but it's more about quality, not quantity. These are the 5 prompts that are available to you. They are the same as the 2015-16 prompts. They were released in March, so hopefully you've already worked on your essay. If you haven't, LEAP assists with essay development in person and virtually, so we're happy to help you with that. Our recommendation is that you go ahead and you write this in a Word document or Google Docs, and then you bring it over here and you paste it into this box. Now, here it's giving you how many words you've entered, and it's warning you that you were below the minimum. You're able to format, especially if it didn't carry over. If you want to expand this while you're writing, you go ahead and do this. And now how do I get back out of there? I'm going to click back. Oops. Okay, now what we see on the personal essay is that they are looking like we're done. Now, it did not save that. You click what your prompt is, you put your words in. Hopefully you're copying and pasting that in. Formatting, you hit continue, and it will save it. Let's go back up there for a second. So there you have, it saved it even though we haven't met the minimum number of words yet. Next section under writing, and I always question whether it really belongs here, is any disciplinary history that you have. You have to answer both of these questions. Be honest, because if you are dishonest on the application and is later found out, then you would that would be a reason to refuse your admission to that college. Additional information. If you feel like there's something that you want or need to have, and again, here's a writing tutorial video here, information that the colleges should have on you, then this is where you would say yes, and you have, again, up to 650 words. I would advise you not to feel like you must put something in here. I would only put in pertinent, important information. There is no minimum words here. So we've got 1 word in there. I hit save. And now, if we go back to my Common App, this is telling you anything not checked, I still have questions that need to be answered. And I can go in and out. I could actually log out right now. Sign out. Now I can sign back in. I can go back to the Common App. And you can see that everything was saved. Now, if you want to add colleges, you will work, this is where you will complete work for each college to which you intend to apply. We don't have any colleges added here, so you have to go over to this college search screen, which you can click here, or you can click down here to add colleges. So let's just go college name directly. You can search a number of different ways. So Ohio State University, search, there it is. If I want to look at all the information on the school, I can click there. I can see what their deadlines are. I can see, and that November 1st deadline is tied to scholarships, so you always want to do that. They always require testing, fees, everything else. I click add. It's been added. Now I go over to my colleges, and now we have the questions that I need to answer for the Ohio State University. So there's 3 sections. First is questions. So when do I intend to start? Things like that. My academics. More information there. My family. And again, you're navigating the same way. You can bounce around or you can hit continue. This is where if you say you are in state, it's going to ask more questions about that. Recommenders and FERPA. You have to know more. You have to have your current school information in there so they know how your school is doing recommenders and FERPA. That could be through Naviance. It could be through the Common App. That is up to your high school. So that's going to vary by school. Once everything would be committed, or I'm sorry, completed, you would be able to go in here and review and then submit your Common App. So we want to add more colleges, so you can come over here at any time. Oh, that's not the one I wanted, but we'll go ahead and just add it anyway. Okay, now watch this. Let's go over to our dashboard. Now our dashboard has our colleges listed. So it also tells you writing is optional at that school, but the essay personal statement is required at Ohio State, and they also have additional details. You can sort by deadline, but we didn't. Here's why this does not, this is why this does not update. Let's go back to my colleges for a second. Let's go into Ohio State. The questions, it asked me when I'm going to start and what my preferred admission plan is. Now I say early action, okay? And they actually require you to live on campus. Okay, now let's go back to our dashboard. We selected that we're going to be early action at Ohio State. It now puts my deadlines in. Then you can begin to sort the order of your deadlines so you can keep track of these in here. So if you, again, you've got instructions and help over here, and hopefully that has given you a decent overview for the 2016-17 application cycle. If you need help from LEAP, oops, we are here to help. And this is our website. Our phone number is 513-754-2240. And you can email us at info@leaprogram.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.